Hello, this is Cecil Sunkir from Hotkeyit.com, and this video will be all about Colossus Micro. In Protoss vs. Protoss, it's especially important to have your Colossus not only in a line, to keep them from being in a ball, but you also have to have some space in between each one. What the padding allows is for enemy Colossus to be able to only fire on one of your Colossus at any point in time. The line of Colossus allows all of your units to engage the opponent all at once, whereas for a moment, when this ball engages the blue ball, or the blue line, only the first one will be in range, then these two will be in range, then this one will be in range. This will sort of stagger the DPS from a low point to a high point over time, whereas when this one engages, the DPS will be maximum from the start. In order for this to work, you of course have to engage perpendicular. Your line has to be perpendicular to the opponent's army. If you have your line and the opponent's army is down here, then that's basically the worst formation you can have. So here, I'll show you an engagement of, let's throw in one more Colossus in here. Four Colossus versus 5. I'm pretty sure you'll know which group will win. As you can see, this one had to waddle around the back for a moment before firing. And the red team won. However, using the same amount of units as the previous battle, you can see that the blue side can win very convincingly if they space their units apart accordingly. It's also probably a good idea to practice spacing your Colossus and your army apart very quickly on the fly, so that way you can do it in game whenever you need. A quick note before I show the engagement: you actually have to A move in a specific way with a line of Colossus. Here's a typical A move. Watch how the formation breaks. The formation you set up breaks almost instantly with that sort of typical A move. However, there's a trick, and the trick is to A move on the mini-map. As you can see now, they're walking in a line almost parallel to each other. I won't go into detail as to why that is, but basically if you just use the mini-map and you order really far away from where your units are, they'll stay walking in a line longer. So now let's show the engagement, utilizing some good positioning from the blue player. Blue Colossus won very convincingly, even though they were down by an entire Colossus. Whenever you're starter stuffing something with a Colossus, if you do it too quickly, there's actually a chance that you won't deal any damage. So it's best when you're starter stuffing with your Colossus to let the animation complete a little bit longer. That way you can guarantee that damage will be dealt. I'll try to show you real quick an example of no damage being dealt, because I tried moving too quickly right after the shot is fired. There you can see, I think only one lance hit. That dealt no damage, no damage. I think that dealt proper damage. That dealt 2 lances, first one dealt 1 lance. That dealt nothing. So instead, if you wait a little bit longer, you could be sure to have both of your lances hit if you let the animation finish. Again, here's trying to stutter step too quickly. However, if you slow it down slightly, you can see that my DPS is much higher. Oftentimes with larger engagements, inexperienced players will try to over-micro their Colossus. When using Colossus, you want them to be firing as often as possible, so then every time you give them a move command, unless you're really good at what you're doing, you're likely to be overriding an attack command that they would be doing, cutting into the DPS your Colossus would be firing out. So then, you should consider during large engagements to just let your Colossus do their own thing, and oftentimes you'll find that they'll end up dealing more DPS than if you had over-microed them. Here's an example of over-microing your Colossus during a larger engagement. Here's an example engagement of where the Protoss does not over-micro their army during a large engagement.
Looking forward to it.
And that's the end of the Colossus micro video. Please ask any questions you have in the Hotkeyit forums.